Hi, I'm Renee Pearson and welcome to this little quick tip video. What I'm going to do today is show you how to get Photoshop layer masks into Photoshop Elements. Now here's a file that was actually created in Photoshop. I created it in Photoshop and it's very small. It's only 150 pixels square and it contains absolutely nothing. You can see the checkerboard pattern there to indicate transparency, and it's just a single layer with a single layer mask. And what I'm going to do is to drag it into this photo. And as you can see, I am working in Photoshop Elements 6 on a Mac. So I created this in Photoshop, and the key feature of doing this is that if you drag a Photoshop layer mask or even open a Photoshop document that has layer masks in it in Photoshop Elements will retain the layer mask. That's a very cool thing. So rather than open this in Photoshop Elements and then I'd have to make it bigger to fit the sizes that I need, I'm just going to drag this one little layer into my Photoshop Elements document. And if you look at the layers palette now, you can see that I've added a layer and there's the layer mask. Now the first thing I suggest you do at this point is to duplicate this layer. That way you will always have a free layer that you can use to mask other layers within your document. So to do that, I'm going to hold down the Command key on a Mac, Control key on a PC, and press J on my keyboard. And that's a shortcut to duplicate a layer. I'm going to turn off the duplicate, and now I've got the original layer mask. Now really what I want to do though is to get this photo into this layer. So the first thing I need to do is to unlock it. You can see that it's locked here. So I'm going to unlock it. That makes it editable and movable. And I will move it up in my layers palette so that it's now one layer above the layer mask. Now it depends on what version of Photoshop Elements you are using. If you're using version 6, I believe, I'm not sure about 5, but I know version 6, you can use the shortcut key Command E on a Mac, Control E on a PC to open the merge down, to create merge down. But if you are on a earlier version of Photoshop Elements, you're going to need to come over here to the menu bar and choose Layer, Merge Down. And you can see here the shortcut to the right. And here's why you want to do this in earlier versions of Photoshop Elements. That's the only way you will get this dialog box that gives you the opportunity to preserve the layer mask. If you don't get that, then it will just merge down and it will remove the layer mask. So we want to click Preserve here. And now you can see right here my photo is inside a layer mask. And now I can do anything I want with this mask. All I need to do is paint inside the mask to remove portions of the photo. Now when you're working with masks, the thing to remember is black conceals and white reveals. Because this this layer mask contains all white, I can see everything because everything is revealed. If I put any black inside of here, the area that has black will be concealed. So why don't I just show you how to do that. I'm going to choose my brush tool here and click that. I'm fine with the brush tool, and I've got it set to 25 pixels soft round brush. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. Let's make it about 50 pixels here. There we go. And now all I have to do is start to paint. Now I want to make sure I have my thumbnail selected and not, my mask thumbnail selected and not my layer thumbnail. So you can see the little boundary around it. And then I can start to paint inside here and watch what happens. You can see the transparency checkerboard appear to let me know that what I am painting into is going to be concealed. Now if I make a mistake, all I have to do is flip the background and foreground colors here. And remember, white reveals, so I'll just go back in here and paint some back in. So that's one of the uses of a layer mask. There are lots of them, and I'm sure you've probably read about some on the web. But that's it for this little tip, and I can't wait to hear your comments and see how you like having your very own Photoshop layer mask in Photoshop Elements. Have fun! Bye!